Now, first, let me introduce myself. I'm Joellen Riley Munton. I've been teaching and researching in this area for more than 25 years now, as my grey hair will show. I'm going to be teaching in this program. So are my colleagues, Dr. Robin Bowley, also with many years' experience and particularly in legal practice, as well as a researcher and an educator. Also, my colleagues, Dr. Michael Rawling and Dr. Eugene Schofield-Georgeson, who both teach in the employment law area and labour law area, and each with significant expertise, both in the academy and in practice. Now, these are the four people who are mainly responsible for the core program, but we have a number of other academics and practitioners who will be very involved in the elective program. And with us tonight online is Professor Karen O'Connell, one of Australia's preeminent experts in discrimination law, who will be looking after that aspect of our program. Now, why would you be interested in the Graduate Certificate of Employment Law and Practice? Well, this is a specialist course. It's designed for both law and non-law professionals who are looking to develop their subject expertise and their professional and practical skills in the broad field of labour law. The course is intended for educating professionals who are in employment law practice, but also in areas of people and culture management, in work health and safety, industrial relations more generally, working in the private sector, the public sector, with unions, with businesses and industry. Our graduates will be equipped to move through their careers in employment law as specialist workplace managers, human resources managers, industrial relations experts, diversity practitioners, and people generally with expertise in employment relations. Now, there are some real benefits of undertaking this course. First of all, students will have the opportunity to network with their educators, and they'll include practitioners and fellow colleagues, your student colleagues who'll be people working in business and industry in this field. One of the great benefits of postgraduate level courses is that you develop extensive networks from your fellow students as well as with your teachers, the academics and the practitioners involved. We're also very committed to ensuring that the subjects are timetabled to suit professional people who have working lives and home lives that require some flexibility from their study. And that flexibility extends not only to timetabling, but also to very flexible programs for progression through part-time or full-time study, whichever suits best your own aspirations. Now, in this program, you'll acquire up-to-date knowledge in a rapidly evolving field of law and practice. I know this especially because I've been speaking to the ABC about the bill before Parliament presently. This is a rapidly evolving field in both case law, legislation, practical matters, and our team are well placed to ensure that our curriculum is right up to the minute. And of course, in undertaking this program, you'll be extending your networks in the field of employment law and human resources management. Now, there are many learning outcomes set out in the handbook for our programs. I'm just going to focus on 4 of them here. First of all, this program particularly is looking at ensuring you obtain a specialised understanding of this complex body of legal knowledge. That includes the Australian legal system in relation to employment law and practice generally. And that will enable you to recognise and reflect upon and respond with your own professional judgment to the ethical and professional responsibility issues that arise in this area, and particularly in specialist practice roles. And you'll be able to identify, synthesize, and articulate complex legal and technical issues and apply your analytical skills to identify innovative and clear, succinct, novel responses to real-world problems in this field. Of course, any program of study at university level will also develop your professional communication skills, and we're particularly mindful in our program to provide authentic forms of assessment that will include developing your ability to analyse, to prepare reports, to engage in oral presentations, so that you're developing those important professional communication skills as you go. Now, our course structure in this graduate certificate has 4 subjects that you'll study, a total of 24 credit points. Now, 3 of those are core subjects: employment law, which covers the whole range of employment law, employment contract law, enterprise bargaining, general protections, all of the general Fair Work Act entitlements. So we cover employment law extensively in that first core subject. There's also a core subject in that important area of work, health and safety law, which Robin Bowley will be taking you through. We have a brand new unit developed specially for this program called Managing Workplace Culture, that will look at many of those new commitments that all employers must make to positive obligations to provide a duty of care, particularly in the areas of bullying and harassment, anti-discrimination. We're looking at workplace culture more broadly and how the legal system seeks to influence behaviour at work. And that will look at everything from managing and modelling behaviour to dealing with legal disputes arising over behaviour and disciplinary matters. And then for your third subject, you have available to you a range of electives. Now, if you're coming from a non-common law background, we'll be encouraging you to study the contemporary business law subject so that you are well placed to place your learning in the other core areas within the Australian legal system. But if you have that background or feel comfortable that you don't need that particular support, you have available to you a range of electives. There'll be more of them than these, but the ones we particularly draw to your attention now is Australian discrimination law, and we do have Professor Karen O'Connell, an expert in that area. If you're interested in dispute resolution, there's a subject there in dispute resolution, future of work, industrial relations more generally, negotiation. And if you're academically minded and want to conduct your own research and prepare your own research paper, there's a research paper option as well. Now, there are avenues into this program for students with a degree and also for students who haven't already obtained a university degree. If you do have a university degree, you simply need to apply, providing evidence of a recognised bachelor's degree or an equivalent higher education qualification, and your application will be assessed on that basis. Now, there is some information on this slide, particularly focused to any international students about the English proficiency requirements. I'll leave that for you to ask your own questions about if that's something that is of concern to you. Now, if you have not already taken a bachelor's degree at university, there's still a pathway into this program by demonstrating that you have relevant professional experience and a commitment to this area in your work that has driven you towards pursuing a course of this nature. And so you'll just need to provide a CV outlining any professional or study history that you have, provide relevant work-related references, and your application will be assessed on that basis. And likewise, if you're coming through that avenue, also be mindful of the English language requirements for international students. Now, there are many opportunities that come with the Graduate Certificate of Employment Law and Practice. It's a highly regarded qualification, a university level qualification. It's taught by very experienced and well-known academics, textbook writers in the fields, and industry professionals with deep expertise. It will provide you with career opportunities as you move into careers as employment lawyers, as workplace managers, HR managers, industrial relations experts, employment relations experts, diversity practitioners. It will involve some experiential learning. Our methods of teaching here expose you to real-life scenarios. You'll engage in problem-solving exercises as you learn from experts in the profession. There is the considerable advantage of the flexible delivery that is intended to give you some online material, but also some on-campus experience using our state-of-the-art facilities, and of course meeting that cohort of people that you're studying with and your teachers. It's a flexible program that allows you to do as much or as little of the program as you wish as you progress, part-time or full-time, in a dynamic and supportive learning environment. And it will present you with some of those real-world challenges as we do keep up with this rapidly evolving field of law. Now, that tells you why you'd want to study employment law and practice. Why would you want to study it here at UTS in the law faculty? Well, first of all, we are in magnificent premises here. Our state-of-the-art new building, we moved into it at the beginning of 2020, so it's very fresh, very up-to-date. There's the moot courts and the trial courts. There are research and collaborative spaces. It's a vibrant community. Downstairs, we have the food courts and the student lounges and many informal places for you to gather and informally discuss things with your colleagues. We have state-of-the-art teaching spaces. And it's a lovely environment, very centrally located, plenty of rooms, excellent library. So you're getting state-of-the-art top-range services when you come and study at a modern university like UTS. Now, as a postgraduate student, you'll also have exclusive access to our brand new postgraduate law study lounge on level 14 of our building, just one level under the academic offices here. So you'll be close to your teachers as well as your colleagues for consultation times. UTS is also well known as a student-centred university. There are a range of services provided here to ensure that students, particularly busy students with professional lives and family commitments, are able to thrive in their university level studies. So we have a director of students who you'll be able to contact if there are any administrative matters or any issues with your own enrolment that you need to discuss with someone. There's the Higher Education Language and Presentation Support Group to help people particularly with their communication skills. There's career service here. UTS Careers is a free service to help you develop the skills and the knowledge and confidence you need to succeed in your career if you are in fact looking for a move through your career. And there is also accessibility services, which provides assistance and support for students who are living with disabilities or medical or mental health conditions or other kinds of problems. So those services are all available to you as postgraduate students here. Now, of course, people like to know how much a program like this will cost. The university sets the fees, and as a guide, our fees set for 2023 for domestic students are calculated at $16,000 for the entire program, the entire 24 credit point program. For international students, it's a little more than that, at just under $20,000. Now, there's no upfront fee for the whole program. Fees are charged per session for the number of credit points that you enrol in. So, for instance, if you were to enrol in just one of the subjects, it would be 1/4 of that fee. Students may very well be eligible to defer their fees through the government's fee help system, a HECS-like system for postgraduate students. And on our slide, there's a hyperlink there that can give you some information about the fee help scheme to see if you're eligible for that. Now, if you are in fact a UTS student already or an alumnus, you'll receive automatically a 10% discount on our fees. Now, we do have an opportunity for questions if anyone would like to remain online. So I'll close the session now, and thanks very much for your attention. Hope very much to see some of you in the future.